So I just thought I would introduce this little plant guy because it was sitting on the windowsill that the camera's sitting on now. My friend Michaela got this for me as a graduation present, and he's still alive and he's grown so much and he's so cute. And I even left him at home and my mom took care of him when I was in college, but he's the cutest little guy and I'm obsessed with him, so I just thought I would share. So here is this long overdue semester update. I have procrastinated this for so long, I'm not even really sure why, because I haven't been home since March due to coronavirus, so probably out of laziness and not wanting to get ready and sit down and talk in front of a camera. Plus, because of coronavirus, I haven't really been home by myself and I don't want any background feedback or anything like that while I'm filming this. I'm gonna start off with my classes, so let's see. I don't even remember my classes I took. I had an online art history class and that was ARH 253, and I'm pretty sure that was like Baroque period to modern art, and that class was interesting, you know, learning the different history and stuff. Wasn't my favorite class, but it was required for my minor. And then for one of my natural science credits, I took Chemistry 101, which I know people are gonna be like, why would you ever do that? Your communications major. But I did take 2 years of chemistry in high school, so I felt pretty prepared to be able to take it in college. If you took chemistry, AP chemistry in high school, you would do just fine in Chemistry 101 in college. And then I had to take a lab for that, which I hated the lab. I'm not a lab girl, I'm not a science girl, so going in and having to do all these experiments just was not for me. And then I was in JCM 102, which was Intro to Media Content Creation or Media Production, something like that. And that class I was so looking forward to. Right before coronavirus hit, we were working on a documentary, and I thought that was gonna be super cool, and like we had a really good team of girls that we were gonna get together and actually do a documentary on someone at my church named Jack that is one of my really good friends. And so I thought that was really gonna be cool. And then coronavirus hit and we didn't get to do that, but I did learn a lot of valuable information and was able to like download all the notes because of coronavirus, so I'll be able to look back at them and if I ever have any questions about like the basics of production, so that was nice. And then I was in JCM 202, which was my intro to post-production class. That was also online, and that class, unfortunately, because I've already like messed around with Premiere and everything, I didn't learn much about like the technical things, but a lot more about like pacing and when to cut and how to make a scene flow. So that was really nice to be able to have that under my belt, and yeah, valuable experience there. And then probably my favorite class, but kind of the class that almost challenged me the most last semester, was my JCM 212 class, and that was it was just called Film and Media Theory. So that class really challenged me, and I think I'm better for it. It really made me think about the industry that I'm going into in a different light and really kind of break down the big media theories and how it relates back to different areas of study, and I just really think it was a valuable experience. And for that final, we had to do a video essay. So I wrote an essay, believe it or not, on vampires, and if you know me, you know, oh, this glare. So if you know me, you know I love vampires. I love Edward Cullen. I love the Salvatore brothers. I love the originals. I love Klaus Michelson. So you just know that I had to do it if I had the opportunity to write something about vampires. So I did, and it was more like about how we got from like a Dracula model to an Edward Cullen model in film, and it was super cool to be able to like dive into that and like look at scholarly research and how much there actually is out there on that subject. And that's not just me, that's a crazy vampire freak. But yeah, really cool, really happy with that. The next thing that I have to talk about is Carly and Grace coming to Fairhope finally. So they rode down with me, I think Martin Luther King Jr. Day weekend, and I just had to show them a little bit of Fairhope. It was unfortunately raining the day we were supposed to like walk around, so it wasn't as spectacular as it should have been. Still salty about that, but it's okay. And then we drove down to the beach and ate at Tacky Jack's, and it was just such a fun time, and I'm so glad that they got to come down here. I truly could have not done this year without them, and they've become two of my best friends and truly have shown me so much support and love throughout this year, because I did go through quite a bit this year, and I'm super grateful for them. The next thing I want to talk about is my small group. We were still going strong. Unfortunately, we get new life groups in the fall, so I'm big sad about having to not be with them anymore. But a happy note is that we had someone join our small group, and her name is Kyla, and she's one of the sweetest people ever, and I was just so thankful to get to know her and have her input and, you know, just learn from her spiritual knowledge, and it was just really nice to have her as an addition to our small group. The next thing I want to talk about happened in February, and that was BAMathon, which was the UA Dance Marathon's main event, and it was, oh, monkeys. She's crying. Do you want out? You want outside? Okay. Alright, so we'll jump back into the dance marathon, which the main event we call BAMathon, and that was so fun. It was just cool to be able to like see everyone together and finally see our Miracle Kids, and you know, put in all the work we put in to fundraise, just getting to see that final reveal, and just, it was one of the best days ever, and I truly love Dance Marathon and everything it stands for, and getting to really pour my heart and my passion into something that is not self-serving, is fully for someone else, and it's for kids that truly need it, and I love Dance Marathon, and that's all I have to say about that for now. The fifth thing I want to bring up is my friend Grace that I mentioned earlier. She ran for the Senate for our SGA on campus, and so it was fun to be able to, you know, help her with that and get to like endorse her and help her hand out buttons one day, and she got the position, so shout out to Grace for that. It was super cool, super fun experience for me, and I cannot wait to see everything that she does with that position. I'll now talk about my job at Crimson Tide Productions. First semester I primarily did what's called an A2 position, which is where I was more like in venue at sporting events, you know, checking the mics and setting things up, and just kind of like being the audio hands-on in-house person. Well, I kind of transitioned into another position that we call the A1 position, and that position actually takes place in the control room. So you're, you know, cueing the music and adjusting the audio levels and how much natural sound you hear compared to the announcers, and music fading in and out, and packaging things and pre-proing things. And so that was really cool to be able to experience, and unfortunately that all got cut short because of coronavirus, but I did get to work I think 5 or 6 games and National Signing Day, so that was super fun to be able to have that experience and learn something new in the industry. So then the next thing that I want to talk about is a new position that I got, which I'm not really sure all it's going to entail, but I'm on the I cannot talk. I'm so sorry, I cannot talk. But I'm on the Student Executive Council for the College of Communication and Information Sciences at the University of Alabama. That is a mouthful, but I'm pretty sure, you know, from what I went to a meeting and just, you know, the interview and everything, we make a lot of like the financial decisions and the fundraising decisions for the college, and we get to like, you know, people will come pitch their ideas to us, whether we were going to fund their student films and things like that, and I think it would be a really beneficial experience for me to be able to interact with other leaders in the college that aren't necessarily in my major, and, you know, hearing the pitches for about student films that could help me in the future if I ever have to pitch a film or, you know, need funding. You know, I just think that was a cool, what? I just thought that was a really cool organization to get involved in, and just kind of tap into my leadership roles. Well, yes, I'm involved in a lot. At the time, I didn't have any like leadership roles, and that was something I missed because in high school, that was something I was like striving for and had a couple positions in. And so I just thought that would be a good way to like reaccumulate myself with leadership and making decisions and meeting new people. And yeah, I just thought it was a smart decision, and hopefully it will be. So far it's been good. So then really timeline wise, the next thing that hit me in this semester was the coronavirus. It was Friday, March 13th that I went home, and that was also the day me, Carly, and Grace were supposed to drive to Orlando that morning for spring break. So they let us know like at 5 p.m. the night before that Thursday, and I mean, it was not good. Like, it was one of the weirdest feelings I've ever felt, because it was like you knew it was over, but it kind of didn't feel over, and you knew it wasn't supposed to be. So like, yes, while we didn't have that much of the semester left, it was like me and Carly knew that was gonna be like the last time we were gonna be in that room together and like sleeping there or being roommates. And so it was just kind of a weird experience. So me and Carly and Grace just cried together, because not only did that get canceled, Disney World closed down, so then we couldn't go to Orlando, and it was just, spring break was not good, and the coronavirus cut everything short. But I'm kind of thankful that I was sad in the end, because then that means that I was happy there and I had good memories, and that it truly was the best college for me to go to, and it was just reaffirmed through that. And so then, due to coronavirus, we took all of our classes online the rest of the semester, which was not my favorite thing in the world. I definitely prefer being able to see the professor, being able to ask the professor questions, being able to see my classmates, and was not a fan of that. But I ended up doing well in the semester regardless, but just not a fan. But one good thing that did come out of this pandemic was we had UADM, which is the Dance Marathon Director. Applications went out and I applied, and then I got an interview, and so graciously I am the 2020-2021 Creative Director for the University of Alabama Dance Marathon. So that's been super fun, being able to design, Instagram stories, Instagram content, picking out my committee, getting to interview my committee, really getting to get to know my VP, Lily, who is super sweet, and I love her, and I just love all the exec board and just everyone. I just love everyone in that organization and everything it stands for, and all that we're going to do, and all that we've already done. So yeah, I will link my donor drive down below for that. So if you are wanting to donate to the Children's of Alabama Hospital in Birmingham, which is a Children's Miracle Network hospital, feel free to donate. All that money goes directly to them, so I would love it if you would donate. And then I kind of skipped over this because it's kind of the most recent thing that's going to happen in my life, even though it is July and I should have made this in May. My friend Sarah from my small group is letting me live with her. Thank goodness. I was so stressed about who I was going to live with, because Carly and I were the best of friends and I had such a good experience with her. And her and Grace are going to be living together in their sorority house in the fall, so that obviously wasn't going to work out for me to live with either of them. So I, one night at small group, I just finally was like, I've had so much anxiety over this and I'm not sure what to do. So, we asked each other how we can pray for each other that week, and so I was like, can you guys just pray for me about clarity on where I'm supposed to live next year, or what I'm supposed to do? And then Sarah was like, you know what, my sister's moving out because she just got engaged and everything. She's like, so you really need, if you need a place to stay, we'd love to have you. And so then she went and showed me the room, and it was a huge room, and the rent's really good, and then it's in a good area, and so it just really worked out, and I knew God's hand was in it. And so I'm so thankfully living with Sarah and our other roommate Taylor in the fall. So I will be off campus in an apartment, so that'll be a new adventure and learning how to cook and plan for drive time and everything like that. That'll be a new challenge, but I'm thankful for it and I think I'll benefit from it in the end. Looking back on my spring semester, while it was a challenging one and while it didn't look the way that I really wanted it to, at the end of the day, the Lord's still faithful and I made it through and I kept my grades good and, you know, kept that 4.0, thank goodness. I was a little stressed about that with the chemistry class online, but pulled it off in the end. And, you know, I still kept connected with my church and my small group and my friends and, you know, got a director's position. And, you know, we finished out the semester virtually with Capstone Agency. So it was just kind of like, while I wasn't in Tuscaloosa, I was able to still continue my life there. And it wasn't like everything just stopped and I was back here and it was like weird. So, and I'm thankful for the extra time I got with my family because I love my parents, and you know, being up there was kind of difficult at times because I missed them so much. So it was nice to have that time with them here. And yeah, just really thankful that I have something to miss in Tuscaloosa, because I know everyone's first year of college wasn't as good as mine. And while I did face some challenges both last semester and this semester, just, you know, with relationships and plans I had and life things and figuring out my place there was a little bit difficult. At the end of the day, I think I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and I just hope that, you know, in the fall and future semesters, I just, you know, build my resume more, make sure that I'm focusing on my passion, which at the end of the day is film and television, you know, telling a story, making people feel emotions, you know, and just completely encapsulating them in this world, no matter what it is. So I just hope that I keep that at the forefront of everything that I do and that I don't just get comfortable with the doors that I've already opened. I just need to keep pushing, keep trying, and this next year will be interesting because next summer I need to have an internship and I want it to be one that I love, and I'm already stressing out about that, but we will talk about that, I'm sure, in both of the next 2 semester update videos that I will be doing. But I think that is all I have for today or the semester, whatever. I'm pretty sure that's all I have. Thank you again for all the support, because I'm sure if you're watching this, you're someone that has supported me in some way, or, you know, is just trying to check in on me or something like that. So just thank you for all you're doing, and I hope that you're doing well in whatever endeavors you are in. Yet again, I'll say that again. And if you ever need anything, just reach out to me. And yeah, I will see you in December of 2020 if we make it that far. But all right, bye.